I was wondering if you guys have got any suggestions about what would you title your story?
Give me some time to think. You
Give me some time to think. Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah.
How long have you lived here, Mike?
Oh gosh, how long have we lived here?
10
Lizzie?
years now?
How much?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems like forever. This is the brain letting you down slowly. And the longer it happens, the more I need assistance, the more I need you to nudge me to say, how about doing this, how about doing that? And I would be lost without you. I would. Don't cry. But I would.
We met on a New Age campsite. I was working there.
And what was your first impression of Liz, Mike?
Wet hippie.
I can't remember. No, I can't remember.
It obviously wasn't that significant.
No, it's just another blonde woman with gingy hair.
Mike had started to have more concerns about his memory, and it took quite a long time for him to pluck up the courage to go and ask about it, really.
To agree I might have a little problem.
Yeah, it was like being hit by a truck, wasn't it?
It really made me cringe, because I thought, this is the end. I'm going to be bloody useless, and poor old Lizzie is going to have to do everything.
I think people leap from the diagnosis of dementia straight into what happens at the end. And they forget about all of this other period of time in between where people are well, are healthy, are vital. That sort of one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work. We know that. We know that from other chronic illness, that what suits one person doesn't suit another. And when you've met somebody with dementia, you've met one person with their version of it, and everybody's dementia is going to be substantially different. So there are going to be people who want tea and sympathy, and then there are going to be people like us who want to be more active, more dynamic, more engaged in services. As an ex-nurse, I think I know the health service fairly well, and I know my way through and how to get to places, but it's proved to be extraordinarily difficult. When Mike has been unwell and I've asked for help, it has often been very hard to get, because Mike is an adult and is capable of articulating a lot of things for himself, but what they don't hear is me, the carer, and what it's like at night time when Mike is really unwell. So when I say that Mike is acutely ill, I need them to hear that, because I know him better than anybody, and this is an experience that carers will feed back to you just at every single venue I've ever gone to. It's a perennial complaint that carers don't get heard. Mike was taken ill and spent 2 weeks in hospital, for a large portion of which time he thought he was in Butlins, which was very pleasant for you, but I was absolutely frantic. So they eventually identified what the problem was. In ordinary life, his recovery was fairly uneventful, but he did have some trouble, and he was very, very uncomfortable for about 2 weeks, because what is acceptable, what is manageable for somebody in normal health is very different for somebody living with dementia, and it puts a great deal more strain on their system and they cope less well. At different times of day, Mike functions very much better. If you come to him this evening and we try and have this discussion, then it'll be much harder for Mike to be able to articulate.
When I get
what
up
he
in the
wants.
morning, I've got a good brain, and it just gradually goes downhill. And like Liz says, by the time we get to early evening, it's crap.
So in hospital, if people come to you in the afternoon and want to have a discussion about your progress or about a procedure that's going to be done, then the chances are that individual is not going to be able to understand it properly and to give an informed consent.
Or to remember it.
Or to remember it.
Mm. If you had something you could see, then you could see it and have a picture and say, this is what happens. But dementia you can't see. You just have to accept people's stories. I don't have a wish for the future. I just need to go on the same way and get as much out of life as I can.
You can't just sit back, you can live this life, and should do.
Keep right on to the end of the road.